Hola Bandidos, welcome to Mel's Magic. This is episode 5351. Kidding, my chicken. Welcome to episode, god damn, I need to check it. Episode 5 of season 3. Madre mia. Right, I picked myself up from my self-pity party of episode 4. I picked myself up. And it's interesting. Yeah, my chicken's a bit lost. She's a bit lonely too. Anyway, I'll deal with her later. Um, I went through a bit of a whirlwind over the past 3-4 days, week maybe, yeah. And there's so much I learned. It's kind of crazy, or it's interesting. I guess the biggest lesson is humility. I spoke about patience, self-compassion. Next one up is humility, i.e., I had to get out of off my high horse of I don't even know what it was, kind of maybe self-entitlement, thinking, "Ooh, you should know better, Melanie. After all you've learned and after all of your self-awareness exercises, you should be able to cope with things better." And by precisely telling myself that, I dug myself deeper and deeper into a not very useful vortex where I felt shitty and they beat myself up for feeling shitty, and on it goes. I mean, it's everything I said we shouldn't do, or not shouldn't, but it kind of gets us into a funk. But there I am, kind of not following my own advice, which made me also, watch actually some of my own episodes and listen to my own damn advice. It's all good. It's all easy to give someone else advice, but to actually apply the advice and live it yourself is a whole other thing. So humility, the other part was also, I guess I was expecting myself to figure everything out on my own and to get myself out of the funk on my own, which was highly arrogant. So by doing that, instead of simply just taking the path of least resistance and reaching out to friends who are more than eager to support and who are empathetic, I just pushed everyone away and I said, no, I should be dealing with this on my own. I will get out of this on my own. And of course I didn't. So then I ended up calling some friends and they totally put me back into a clearer perspective and got me out of my self-obsessed loop, I guess. So humility in recognizing that, dude, on this path of self-awareness and just being a human being, we should not have this expectation to be on this bliss wave all the time. I guess that was my expectation. Like, oh, I should know how to stay high vibe all the time and forget to be human. But this is, so that was a lesson. No, it's not always high vibe, and it's fine to have a bad day or 2 or 3. Just don't stay there. And if you realize you can't get out of it on your own, reach out to other people. We're here to support each other. That was my lesson. And so, lesson: reach out when you're struggling and you can't find your own way out. Number 2, yes, be humble and accept that there's going to be bad days, and that's fine. Do not try and mold the quote unquote bad days into brilliant days. Again, we're allowed to feel everything. No, I mean, I'm telling myself. That was number 2. Number 3 was number 3. Just stop being such a goddamn perfectionist. I guess the ego becomes more and more subtle, and I just realize I end up putting up all these expectations again, like this huge list of routines I need to do, and then if I slip, if I slip up, then like, oh my god, you're gonna fall off the path. I mean, what is the path anyway? The path includes these, not so good days. And yes, stop being a perfectionist. It's difficult to get out of this mode because I was perfectionist all my life. Codependency, perfectionism, proving myself to others. And what was the other thing? Yeah, authenticity. I've been talking about authenticity. What is it? What the hell does it mean? It means being true to what you feel in the moment, even if in the moment you feel shit. So be it. Not try and coerce it into something else. Telling you. I'm so grateful for, honestly, like, just my friends. There's Liz, there's Devas. I mean, there's so many people who really, if I reach out, they're just there to listen, even, not necessarily to even give me advice, just hold some space where I can see that I'm in my own hall of mirrors. And that's just sometimes, it's often all we need, just someone to hold space to listen to our own um, vortex, no? Y what was that? Was a crazy thing. Yeah, I had this. I had this. I guess it all started with me coming out of alignment and saying, okay, we need to be more pragmatic. We need to tackle this paperwork. But I was kind of struggling against the current. I was in a mode of resistance, kind of pushing myself. And then I went, I'm in Spain, and I went to all these Behörden. I don't know in Spanish, como these, not aristocrats, not democrats. What do you call them? Bureaucrats. Went to these bureaucratic offices and got kind of told to go to this office. Anyway, it ended up being super frustrating. I was like, oh, I'm trying my best, but it's not leading to anything. And then my mom goes, you give up easily. And then my inner insecurity snaps and says, see, you give up easily. I was like, oh. And so I just felt defeated, and I just felt defeated and frustrated, I guess. And thinking, oh, woe is me, I can't get any practical shit done, which is just another story. It's another story. So I ended up super frustrated. It's actually quite comical, honestly. Like yesterday, I was supposed to go rowing at like 9 in the morning, and got so, somehow I was dreading waking up because I felt these kind of doomy thoughts coming on. And then I thought, oh shit, I'm late. And I was rushing, and it was raining a bit. And I thought, should I go? Should I not go? Like rowing with wet ass? No, maybe yes, no, whatever. I texted today, I'm coming, I'm not coming. I've got my gloves, ended up in the port, actually there. And then I said, look, I'm here, but I'm not going. And she must have thought, crazy woman, man, decide for Christ's sake. So I decided in the end, like super erratically, not to row. But I said, I need to let some steam off. I need to get it back into my body. I'm like, overthinking, overlooping. So I hiked up this mountain. We live on the slope of this a massive mountain. I just went on a mission hiking up like 1.5 hours this mountain, and feeling sorry for myself. I was like, oh, nobody's there, and I was texting friends, but then blocking them, like stupid, crazy stuff, man. So I was hiking up this mountain and thinking, okay, I'm gonna feel better once I'm out. Just take one step at a time. Take one step at a time. Breathe, 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 breathe. And then there was this guy, kind of. I saw him, corner of my eye, kind of behind me, and then he slowly caught up, and he eventually overtook me. And I looked at him. Seems like a nice guy. And then almost on the top, he was coming back. No, actually, sorry. Before that, I was like, you know what? I just need a hug. Maybe the stranger. I don't know him. Maybe better. I'm just gonna ask him if when I see him up there, can you give me a hug? Because I really need a freaking hug. Maybe I just need to. Maybe I just need that. You know what I mean? Just like stop being so arrogant. Maybe just need a freaking human hug. So I kind of told myself, if I see the dude again, like later, then I will ask him to give me a hug. So I almost was at the top of the mountain, and the dude came back, and I was like, hey, hi, wow, how's the top? And he's like, oh, there's many people. And he said, yeah, it's not far, not much longer to go. I said, yeah, I know, it's not the first time I do this. And he said, yeah, I couldn't take a photo because my phone battery is off. And then something in me said, tell him that you have a camera and that you can take a picture. But as not like split seconds after I had this insight, my doubts creeped in, and I'm like, oh, I can't just ask him. Like, what's he gonna think? All these bloody insecurities again. So I just said, okay, bye, bye. And he went down, and I went up, and I was thinking, actually, what's the point? I'm literally at 90% up this goddamn mountain, which is like 560 meters high. But you know what? I don't care about reaching the top. I've reached the top before. It's not about reaching the top. It's about the journey. And I don't want to go back down on my own. I'm going to catch up with this dude. So I turned around, and I saw him after a few quarters. I said, hey, wait. And he was like, okay. So I caught up with him, and I said, hey, actually, I had a phone. And And actually, no, I told him, why didn't you ask somebody up there to take a photo for you and just send it to you? And he said, yeah, I was too shy. And then I told him, you know what? I was going to give you my camera, but I actually thought I was too shy in the end. And then I said, can I walk down with you? Because I'm bored walking on my own. He's like, yeah, sure. So we ended up in this really like nice conversation. And I was towards the end, I was thinking about it. I even told him, I said, you know what? I'm going to write down all my fears and I'm going to do them one by one because I'm realizing this was a perfect situation or example just how much of life we miss out on just by stupid insecurities, self-doubt and fear. And he agreed, and that was that. We just had nice company walking down this massive mountain, and I told myself I'm glad I spoke to him in the end because at least I'm out of my head. That having a conversation with a real human being. Forgot to actually to ask him to give me a hug, but oh well. In any case, that was also my lesson. Yesterday I was so frazzled, completely. When you're stuck in your mind, and you're totally out of the present moment. I was so out of the here and now that I was projecting into a future scenario, like some crazy, scary situation of the future. I was beating myself up for the past. I was like, oh my God. In the meantime, I did all these crazy things. I forgot my gloves. I bailed on rowing. I went up a crazy mountain, which was not planned. Then I went back to the pueblo and got a coffee and bought a chicken, which I didn't even need, not a real chicken, a pollo frito, pollo asado. I came home with this chicken and my mom was like, I thought we were gonna have lunch. I said, yeah, I forgot about it. Totally just mindless. I was not here. I was not present. I was not in my body. I was just in the head, and the head was racing. Anyway, that was the anecdote of yesterday. This is just a small example, but I'm sure you can empathize of how we just overthink things and just instead of taking it easy and being present and allowing for insight to come because the universe is always listening to us if only we don't clutter our head with anxious thoughts, if we actually just calm down alpha beta wave and receive the messages which will always lead us for our highest good, then it's just so much easier. But what do? Go like crazy headless chicken like me yesterday. It was totally irrational the entire day. I can laugh about it now, but when you're in the thick of it, it's just insane. That's insanity, no? Pretty much insanity. In any case, once I open up, once I stop the beating, switch, get out of this narrative that my ego is constantly telling myself, I'm not doing enough, I'm not doing this enough, I'm not this, you're not, like, oh my God. Literally, the card I pulled yesterday was never ending story. Isn't that crazy? And look at this elf. Elf is totally frustrated like I was yesterday. And it's this never ending story chatter of our egos telling us these things, which is totally just self obsessed and pulls us out of the present moment. It makes us suffer. I felt my heart clenched, my pulmones apretados. I felt physically so sick because of these racing thoughts. That's how this mind-body connection, how we are connected to our thoughts and how these thoughts can make us sick. The never-ending story that just I wasn't able to interrupt these past 2 days. Crazy. The card I pulled today, come on, you gotta believe in angels now, because I asked my angels this morning. I said, dude, guys, come on. I'm breathing. I'm here now. I'm ready. I'm open to receive your advice. What can you tell me? And they're like, slow and steady wins the race. That's a message, no? Instead of trying to do 10,000 things at the same time, which I do, instead of trying to do everything at the same time perfect, which is totally immature, actually. It's me trying to be mature, but then I'm immature and trying to do everything at the same time. Paradox. Let's just take one thing at a time, even one day at a time for one thing. So I told myself, okay, Monday, admin stuff. I went to the Ayuntamiento, I'm organizing my papers, and I'm not going to beat myself up for not painting, because today, Monday, we're doing papers. Y basta, it's enough. More than enough. And then I feel this weight off my shoulders. Other two cards, which I saw on the table, which I pulled a few days ago, but I was only able to perceive now that I calmed down, Pues mira qué bonito. The moment I realign with love, clear direction is presented to me. And it's so true. The moment I stepped out of this rat race hamster wheel of my mind, I was able to perceive the abundance, the wholeness, the perfection of the moment. And perfection, not that everything is right, the perfection of just the way things are. I was able to accept myself, my feelings, the way I was feeling. I was able to accept my mother more because I realized the more critical I am with myself, the more critical I get with everyone around me. And of course, those who suffer the most are the ones closest and dearest, family. So getting off this hamster wheel and being present and realigning with our true source and looking at things through love, which is our essence, and which just gets nebuloso because of our ego story, the moment we do that, we are being guided again. The other card was, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. That's another thing. I was cargando, I was putting on all this weight, all these responsibilities, taking myself so goddamn serious that I forgot to just surrender. And also, I told my angels again today, guys, can you help me with this? I think I'm paddling against the stream, trying to take all this responsibility on my shoulders, which is probably not necessary. And I need some guidance. Can I just offload my worries and my anxieties and my fears and my concerns to you and just no puedo sola, vale? And seriously, I felt a weight being lifted. Believing is seeing. I mean, I don't know what method you have to take off this weight, but who said that we need to do everything on our own? Like everything, carry everything on our own? No. And we are relational beings, and I'm very arrogant, and nowadays I want to do everything on my own, and I cut people off. And probably at the bottom of it is a fear, because I fear of losing myself in other people. I fear of losing the contact with my truth, with my feelings, because of lack of boundaries with other people. Like, it's basically fear. And I want to admit to myself, yes, it's okay to be supported by other people. It's okay to ask for help, to rely on other people, because we all need each other. And it's okay to spend alone time. I guess, for me, I enjoy solitude because that's when I do my work, my art, and not too much though, because it gets me into a funk. But the right kind of solitude, the right amount of solitude, and the rest, I'm really practicing to be more with people and practice being in touch with my true emotions, so as to exactly not betray myself and not betray my own needs and not then lose myself and try and people please. So I'm trying to practice that, not lose myself, but still be around other people, because I need other people also. I need reflections, because it's difficult to get a 360 view of yourself just by looking at yourself, and we're not like owls. There's the other one, chameleon, who can like switch the head around. Humility, I guess that's my basic message of today, and my conclusion of my processing and of my process over the past few days. And I've decided that I'm gonna keep my magic to this kind of tone. I'm just gonna I don't even know who's watching this anyway, so it's mainly for me, and I don't want to perform anymore. I'm just gonna share my experiences, the not so nice ones, and I mean, there we go, labeling again. The kind of wave of emotions, let's put it that way. Bueno, y con esto es super long video. ¿Qué día estamos? It's Monday. Monday gets such a bad rep. Maybe I should switch my schedule around. Just do like really nice things on Monday and do like shitty things, not shitty, but hard work on Friday. So Monday gets a better rep. Anyway, I hope you're having a good start to the week. Thank you for being here. If you enjoy my messages, I'm super happy if you like, share, and subscribe. And here we are, ready for episode 5 coming up soon of season 3. Muchos besos, hab euch lieb, alles Gute, alles ist gut, alles wird gut. Y present moment, reach out, humility.